still working on it. Good evening and welcome to December 16 City Council meeting. At this time, I'd like to have Harley roll call.
Councilman Clay?
Here.
Councilman Hughes?
Present.
Councilman Clunt? Absent, excused. Councilman Miners?
Present.
Councilman Schuyler?
Present.
Councilman Shaheen?
Here. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. At this time, we'd ask if any council people have any conflicts of interest tonight. Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
And a second?
I'll second that.
Motion by Hughes, second by Schuyler to approve the consent agenda. And I'll ask our finance officer to fill in the blanks for the public at this time.
Item number 3, under the consent agenda, accept the resignation of Chanel Herman from the Corrections Department effective December 31st, 2024. And then item number 4, under consent agenda, increase wages of Crystal Kemp in the Corrections Department to $23.36 per hour. That's for completing Med-Aid training program effective December 2nd of 2024.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Riley, was her name Crystal Kemp?
Yes, Crystal Kemp.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. That motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, excuse me.
Yes, Mr.
I
Klein.
think we need to have the door open.
Do we?
Because it's an open meeting, we got that one door open.
Is that door open?
Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry.
Councilman Clay always wants to follow the rules. I don't understand it. Item number E on the main agenda for tonight. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
And a second?
Mr. Mayor, I'll second that motion.
Second by Miners. Any discussion on that agenda? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Okay, first on the list, one of the most important things we get to do, years of service awards to our employees. Rhonda, the HR director, will ask you to take the show, please.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we would like to recognize 10 of our employees who have completed 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and we have plaques for them. I will announce their names, and if you guys would please rise who is here, and we're going to go over and take a picture with the mayor. Brandy Osborne, 5 years. Marty Peterson, 5 years. Ardith Frank, 5 years. Brian Flores, 5 years. Dennis Holtis, 5 years. John Wortman, 5 years. Tim McClung, 5 years. Kathy Mock, 15 years. Karen Robertson, 15 years. And Justin Brunermeyer, 20 years. Those of the ones that weren't able to attend tonight, we will make sure they get their plaques.
They're probably still working.
That's true, some may be working.
We don't have all night, Dan, we're on the clock. They don't have to be right side up. You
Well,
can't.
yeah, they do. They're upside down. Okay, everybody squeeze together a little bit, please. Like each other.
Well, I told you to eat cake.
All right, very good.
You get us all? Thank you very much.
Got you all, yep.
May have
Thank all
another
of you people.
person come in later, they can maybe take a quick picture.
I will, yep, yep,
Thank you.
yep. Later, okay, yep. Yes, absolutely, yep.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Feel free to stick around.
I'm good with
Might want to discuss item 7. Okay, we sure want to thank all of our employees for their longevity. I can't believe Marty Peterson's been here 5 years already, my goodness, it goes fast. Okay, at this time, we have a 10-minute window for public input, and I see nobody here from the public, so we probably won't take advantage of that. And I would ask the finance officer to report on any new hires since our last meeting.
There were no new hires since the last meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. So that moves on to Public Works Director Troy Kruger for his report, please.
Good evening, everyone. Start with water and sewer. Monthly water samples. Once a month, we read our out on the well line, our rural meters, locates radio and meter repairs. We hauled some dirt in from out of town for the cemetery and the water department. Replaced door on there. We had some damage to a door out there. The wind caught it, and then working on. Everyone's starting to work on their inventory. We've got inventory due the middle of next month. Parks and cemetery, funerals, streets in the Parks Department. We're trimming alleyways for a couple of reasons. Number one, for the electrical lines, and number two, so when we're moving snow this winter, we're not beating up our equipment in the alleyways. They also got in on the dirt hauling, equipment maintenance. And then I'd mentioned earlier this year that we took some playground equipment out of a city park and that we were going to try and work something out with a community that's close to winter. And we were just not able to contact anyone and get any confirmation for that. So that equipment, we cut it up and hauled it out to the landfill for scrap metal. And they're also working on inventory. Light department, basically what some of the stuff that they got buried this summer, now they're cutting over the, and taking down the overhead and cutting in the underground stuff. So Presidential Square Apartments got done. They also did a couple areas over on the 9th Street location. Some meters, working on some meters that weren't logging in the Landis & Gear system. Fixed street lights, fixed security lights out at the sale barn. And then when they took the sign down for the auto body shop out there, the Ford shop, the Ford dealer's auto body shop, on that sign was one of our street lights. So when their sign came down, we had to take our street light down. So we set a pole and we put up a couple of new street lights out there on Sheets Drive so that get that area lighted up. Cut over a house service on 925 East 8th Street, killed Coolidge, block of 7th Street to 9th Street and removed the overhead poles, and so now it's on the underground system. And then they're also working on inventory. Streets and sanitation, we got a letter middle of the year, and Tri-County Landfill made us aware that they were going to go up again this year. They had told us about 5% is what they had anticipate that increase to be. It wasn't quite the 5%, so it was roughly around 3%. And to date, we've spent about $100,000 on tipping fees out there, so our annual increase will be around $3,000. They trimmed trees in the alleyways, hauled dirt. We started working on the foundation for the dog pound out at the recycle center. They're working on their inventory, and then we set out the recycle trailers last week, and 4 different locations I think we talked about earlier. So those are the same locations. One is at County Fair, the other one's down at Bailey's parking lot, the Bailey's Field Complex, the softball complex. The third one is right here in the back of the city administration building in the back parking lot, and the other one is down in front of the North Shop. And in a matter of a couple of days, every one of those was plumb full of cardboard, so I guess they found them. So they're working. Any questions?
Troy, with the underground electricity going in, do we have the light poles? Will they be like what we have on 6th Street? Or what's the plan for that?
For the streetlights?
For the new street lights when we go all underground, yeah.
The streetlights will remain. So there's a couple of different areas like East 10th Street where we've done the electrical work there to add in streetlights. We try and go about every 300 feet is kind of the normal for a streetlight. And there's a couple streets up in that area of town that we're really lacking in streetlights. So we did put in the underground and to be able to put in some more streetlights in there. But if there was an existing light there, we did not take it down. It's still up.
Okay, very good, thank you. Now we would ask Mitch Miller, the Public Safety Director, please, for his report.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. Merry Christmas to each and every one of you, first and foremost. First report we'll go over is the Corrections Department report, and you can see the numbers are attached there. For today's count, there are 159 inmates. For the month average is 155, and for the year average is 155 as well. You can see the numbers in parentheses to the right. We're going to start including those numbers each month. That's the federal inmates that are being held in our facility. So for the year average is 123 federal inmates that are being held here in Winter. So you can see the movements, you can see the intake processes. Those numbers are included there as well. The medical staff had another busy month, and you can see those numbers with 23 different inmates seen by 2 different providers, as well as the mental health challenge. As we know in the system, mental health is indeed an issue. So towards the bottom you can see the revenue, and for the month of November, a little bit strong of $403,000 was billed out, as well as, a little bit over $10,000 for some transportation. So with that, a couple different things that we want to educate you with is we have completed a FTO program, and we are trying it out on our first new hire. So it's a 12-week program. It's a field training thing so that they can know the ins and outs of what their job is. The good part of this individual every week has to take a test. And if they successfully pass this test, they get to move on to the next part of the training. So it's good and solid. We want to train our officers to do their jobs and to do them well. So it's a good thing that we have implemented. So second thing, just for your information, on January 9, the Winter Police Department has a trained defensive tactics instructor, and he is going to put on a class right here in this building for between 6 and 8 correctional officers. We are going to continue to strive for training for our correctional officers as well, and this is one of the first things that we are going to do. So, and then this is more for the community, but for you, this group as well, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. we do our monthly siren testing. So again, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you hear the sirens, it's for testing purposes. Are there any questions on the corrections reports? Okay, seeing none, I'll quick go through the planning and zoning and code enforcement. There's a front and a back, and you can see the back is just the building permits that were issued for the last month, and there were 3 of them. And then the code enforcement, they are working with the city attorney and property owners on the properties deemed priority by the council. Any questions with that?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. And item number 3, a report from the finance officer, Harley Koenig.
The first thing, if you look at your claims at the back of your packet there are 2 items that we need to strike through. It's item number 24 and then item number 35. That was not added on twice. We received 2 purchase orders for DGR Engineering and then High Plains Truck and Trailer. So we just need to strike those duplicates there. And that total would be $358,239.77 for the total claims. And then also, we did receive a last-minute claim for code enforcement to purchase a vehicle from the police department. Please, and that's for $1,000. Please add this when you make the motion to approve the claims. Other things I have, the annual chamber banquet date has changed. It was being held on January 11th, but now it's being held Friday, January 10th at St. Mary's Hall. We received a tattoo and body piercing application from Lydia Stevenson, located at 201 South Monroe Street. Everything was submitted and approved for that. There was another election training held last week, and there will be more coming up here in the next few months preparing for the city election. And Brandy and I in the office are working together on that, going to those trainings. Then, yeah, we're just tying things up for the end of the year, so that's all I have. Any questions?
Any questions for Harley? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 1, under bid openings, we have the 2024 to 2030 financial audit. Harley?
Yes.
Okay.
One moment. Okay, so there was a bid opening on October 31st for audits for 2024 to 2030. And there were 3 bids received. ELO Pro LLC was one of them, and they bid an annual fee per year, and then plus any out-of-pocket costs incurred. For 2024, they bid $25,000. 2025, they bid $26,000. 2026, they bid $27,000. 2027 was $28,000. 2028 was $29,000, 2029 was $30,000, and then 2030 was $31,000. We received a bid from Kettle Dorsenson, and they also bid the annual fee, and then they had hourly travel time and plus mileage at the IRS rate and actual cost of meals and hotels, free phone calls throughout the year for questions. And their 2024 bid was $30,000. 2025 was $32,100, 2026 was 34,200. 2027 was 36,800. 2028 was 39,300. 2029 was 42,100, and then 2030 was 45,000. And then Shane Fish, their bid for 2024 was 20,000. 2025 was 21,000. 2026 was 22,000. 2027 was 23,000. 2028 was 24,000. 2029, 25,000. And 2030, 26,000. And then the finance officer, myself, recommends proceeding and accepting Shane Fish and Co.
Any questions? I assume the Shane Fish bill or bid is with no additional expenses at all.
Right.
Okay, very good.
Question I would have, are they
Tim?
going to perform the audit on a more timely basis than they have in the past? Because we were kind of in violation of not having that done in the past in an adequate time frame.
I will ask our attorney, do you know a status on that? The one that they were way behind on, was there a penalty from the state that was incurred? And if so, are they paying that penalty? That might not be a fair question to you unannounced.
Yeah, I'm
But I'm
not
asking.
sure off the top of my head. I've talked with Rhonda, I believe, on that.
Okay.
I could talk to her this week and see where we're at on
Okay,
that.
we-
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
We should probably know that.
I don't believe there was a penalty assessed.
Okay, very good.
I don't believe so, if I remember correctly.
That's where I'm at with it too, but I will confirm that or not.
Okay,
I guess I just, want that, in the contract, if we have it, we should probably state stipulations that, it needs to be completed in timely manner. Obviously, there's things that we all know that dictate that maybe they can't, but we were like a year and a half out of compliance on this one, right, in particular.
close to 2 years, I agree with you, yep. And that is a state law, so I would think that all parties, including the city of Winter and the auditor, know what that deadline is. My question is whether or not it's been resolved. If there is a penalty for being late, it should not be us unless we got our information to them late. So we'll check into that and confirm that we don't pay any penalty on that. Okay?
Harley, I have a question for you, and I don't know if you know this off the top of your head, but where these companies are based out of, just for informational purposes.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Shane Fish is located in Parkston.
Oh, okay.
That's,
Kilburton's probably out of Rapid City, where I'm sure
Yep.
that's where their primary office is.
I remember that they are Rapid
And I don't
City.
know who the CLO proof is, but
Thank you.
very good, okay. That takes care of the bid opening. We have no public hearings, we have no Board of Adjustments. Item K, old business. Item number 1, do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve second reading passage and approval of ordinance number 1088, 2024, end-of-year supplemental appropriation ordinance.
Motion by Schuyler, is there a second?
I'll second.
By Hughes. So we have a motion and a second to approve second reading for passage of ordinance number 1088, 2024, end-of-year supplemental appropriation ordinance. Those numbers are in your packet. Is there any discussion? We'll have a roll call vote here, and we'll start with Schuyler.
Aye.
Shaheen.
Yes.
Clay.
Yes.
Miners.
yes,
And Hughes.
Aye.
All ayes, that motion carries. Thank you very much. Item number L, new business. Item number 1, do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion for resolution 2024-31, excuse me, adopting amendment to policy 2.8, performance evaluations from quarterly to semi-annual.
And do we have a second?
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Moved by Shaheen, second by Clay, to adopt resolution number 2024-31, adopting the amendment to policy 2.8, performance evaluations, changing them from quarterly to semi-annual. Is there any discussion on this proposal?
Mr. Mayor, I have a question. Obviously, this come out of committee with recommendation. What's the reason for going? Just time in performing them, or, we base merit pay raises on evaluations, and so you only have 2 based as 4, or,
A lot of it was to,
I would open that answer to the 2 members of the committee, one
part
at
of
a
it was the
time.
fact that you're talking to them, or you should be talking to them all the time. And that, there's really no necessity to sit down quarterly. We just felt it's not necessary to do it 4 times a year, do it twice a year. And as long as they were, kept track of and having discussions with them throughout anyway, that we felt that it wasn't necessary to do it quarterly.
okay.
We also talked about an ordinance, and they're put out into a time frame where the employee knows they need to improve in an area, and it hits before the end of the fiscal year, so they know if their raise is going to be there after the new year.
They've got performance things that if they need to, they have performance objectives they have to meet still. So, and a lot of times you're not going to reach those performance objectives within a quarter. It may take longer, so.
Okay, I'm fair with all that.
The main time, a big part of it was time. Some departments have a lot of employees and doing the reviews. And I don't want to speak for anybody else, I feel if our supervisors are doing their jobs, as Councilman Shaheen indicated, that if there's a correction, they should be taking care of it other than just at the review time. So, and taking a gamble that's going to be more efficient, and so yeah, we'll go that way.
Well, I'd agree time's important, right? And it takes time to do them. And as long as they've got control of what's happening, we have to ensure that, we put a lot of trust in them anyway, so. Thank you.
Any other discussion on that? So this will be a roll call vote, starting with Councilman Clay, please.
Yes.
And Miners,
Yes.
and Hughes,
Aye.
and Schuyler,
Aye.
and Shaheen.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That motion passes. Item number 2, do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion to award the 2024 to 2030 audit bid to Shane Fish and Company and have the mayor sign.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that one.
Second by Schuyler on the motion made by Clay to award the 2024 to 2030 audit bid to Shane Fish and Company and have the mayor sign. Any discussion on this?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Quick question for either Harley or Mason. The bid specs were all met by all 3 different companies, correct?
Yes, they were. Yep.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll have roll call on this, starting with Councilman Miners, please.
Yes.
And Hughes,
Aye.
and Schuyler,
Aye.
and Shaheen,
Yes.
and Clay.
Yes.
Yes, very good. Thank you very much. Item number 3, do we have a motion?
I can make,
Go ahead.
okay, I'll make a motion to approve a transfer per the 2024 Budget Authority. We need to transfer $231,900 or $193 from corrections to general fund. We need to transfer $1,067,454 from electric to general. We need to transfer $107,482 from sewer to general fund. And then we also need to transfer $350,000 from corrections to 911 communications.
And do we have a second?
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Motion by Skylar, second by Clay, to transfer $231,193 from corrections to general, transfer $1,067,454 from electric to general, transfer $107,482 from sewer to general, and transfer $350,000 from corrections to 911 communications. Do we have any discussion on this? Very good. We'll have a roll call vote, starting with Councilman Hughes, please.
Aye.
And Skylar.
Aye.
And Shaheen.
Yes.
And Clay.
Yeah. Yes.
And Miners.
Aye.
All ayes, this motion carries to transfer that money. Item number 4. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make the motion to approve the 911 contract for 2024 with Bennett County and have the mayor sign.
I'll second.
And second by Shaheen. Motion by Miners to approve the 911 contract for 24 or 25?
24, it includes 25.
Okay, goes into 25, thank you very much. With Bennett County and have the mayor sign. This will be a roll call vote starting, or is any discussion, please? No discussion, good. No wonder I want to forget that all the time. With Councilman Skylar.
Aye.
Shaheen.
Yes.
Clay.
Yes.
Miners.
Yes.
And Hughes.
Aye.
All ayes, thank you very much. A contract with Bennett County. Item number 5, do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the 911 contract for 2024, Gregory County, and have the mayor sign.
And is there a second?
Mr. Mayor, I'll second that motion.
Thank you very much. Motion by Shaheen, second by Miners to approve the 911 contract for 2024 with Gregory County and have the mayor sign. Any discussion, please? Mr. Clay.
I'm glad, I see they're signed in the packet. Mitch, everything's worked out with Gregory. Do we have any hitches, any hiccups or anything? Any special things we have to do for Gregory? There's some negotiation there.
The short answer is no, but what you're alluding to is the triple I agreement, like for Gregory Police Department to legally run their own criminal background checks. They have met the requirements, so that is currently being done.
It's all worked out.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that is not part of the Gregory County contract.
That is not.
That's a totally separate contract with Gregory
That's
City
it's just an
Police.
interagency agreement.
Very
So,
good, thank you very much.
You're good?
Yep,
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, discussion? Seeing none, Councilman Skylar.
Aye.
Shaheen.
Yes.
Clay.
Yes.
Miners.
Yes.
And Hughes.
Aye.
Thank you very much. That motion carries. Item number 6.
I'll make a
You-
motion to set the 2025 city election for April 8th, 2025, and combine expenses with the Winter School District.
Motion by Hughes, second by,
I'll second it, Mr. Mayor.
by Clay, to set the 2025 city election for April 8, 2025, and combine expenses with the Winter School District. If we could get them to do 75 and we do 25, that'd be a good negotiation tactic, okay? Any discussion?
Harley, whose terms are up?
This side.
This election.
It's this side.
Everybody over here is up for election, yep. Any other discussion
I
on
have
this?
one more question.
Okay,
Is January 21st the first date persons can take out petitions?
Have you learned that yet, Harley?
I do have a calendar in my office. Can I get back to you on
Yeah,
that?
that's fine.
Okay,
Yep.
yep, I believe that's right, but I'd have to double check.
Atta girl. Don't give an answer that you don't know for sure. Okay. This is set up to be a roll call vote, and we'll start with Shaheen
Yes.
and Clay
Yes.
and Miners
Yes.
and Hughes
Aye.
and Skylar.
Aye.
Very good. That motion carries. Item number 7, do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion for a resolution for Christmas Eve pay and bonus for city winter employees.
And do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Shaheen. For a resolution for Christmas Eve pay bonus for City of Winter employees. Is there any discussion on this?
Is that in the packet?
Uh,
Or what is it? What is the bonus and like that?
It's,
A half day.
Mr. Clay, if you want to expound on the answers
Yeah.
to this, that'd be
Mr.
great.
Councilman Schuyler will give you what is written up, and Mr. Mayor,
Okay, very good, okay.
how about
Mr.
if I
Clay
just-
has the floor.
I'll read the resolution
Okay,
as
okay.
it's read for the public, okay?
Okay, yep.
City Resolution 2024-32, a resolution declaring half of a day on Christmas Eve, Tuesday, December 24th, a paid holiday.
Okay.
Whereas the City of Winter recognizes the need to establish and maintain morale for its employees and recognize their hard work and dedication to the city. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Winter, South Dakota from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., Tuesday, December 24th, 2024, all city employees will be granted paid time off for holiday at their normal hourly wage. Law enforcement center employees who are required to work will receive holiday pay premium for the same 24-hour period during their shift.
Same 4-hour period.
Did I not say?
Same 4 hours. Yep.
I'm sorry, yeah. And
Very good.
it said same 4-hour period during their shift.
Did he say 24?
He did.
That was a big
Oh, good
one.
catch.
That
He
is
did.
not what it
I wasn't
says,
gonna
it says
correct that,
4
but
hours.
people know I
Yeah.
Are there any other comments or questions concerning this little program? We have done it several times in the past. It's a good thing for us to do. Yep.
Do they also get a Christmas bonus on top of
Yes.
that?
And they've already received that.
Good.
That's correct.
They've
And-
already received that?
For the record, the Christmas bonus is 200, I just asked today, because I
Yep.
didn't know, I couldn't remember exactly. The Christmas bonus pay is $250 for full-time, $125 for a part-time employee. To remind the council, the public, everybody.
And this would be in addition
In
to that,
addition.
to that bonus. That's correct. This is strictly a nice thing for us to do for all of our employees 4 hours before Christmas, for the 4 hours immediately preceding Christmas.
Does this also include our contracted people?
If they're considered city employees, I would think that's what it is, but no.
You mean us?
Yeah,
I was talking Mason.
you guys are gonna get your $600 if you
Yeah.
show up to the meetings, yep, okay. All right, so we'll call the question on that. Item number 7, a resolution for Christmas Eve pay bonus for City of Winter employees. By roll call, Councilman Clay,
Yes.
and Miners,
Yes.
and Hughes,
Aye.
and Skylar,
Aye.
and Shaheen.
Yes.
And on behalf of the City of Winter employees, I'm sure that they thank all of you for your vote. Claims, do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the claims with the subtractions and the addition that Ms. Harley had previously amended.
Very good. Skylar makes a motion,
I'll second.
and Hughes, you guys like to spend money, yeah?
So do you.
Okay, any other discussion on this? We caught one error, or 2 errors, so we got that taken care of, so that's why we look at this stuff. Any other discussion? All in favor to pay the claims as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. I don't believe we have any use for executive session. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Skylar, second by Hughes to adjourn at 7:10 PM. Very good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good night, everybody. No discussion on that.
Thanks for coming, Dan.
Got the bill.
See you, Dan.
Yeah.